He said every morning, because she's a real beautiful white girl.
Right.
One that is of the standard of what these black men like.
Right.
He said every morning it's a degrading thing. She got to get on a public transportation and stuff like that. And she says these black guys is all over her ass. I think she's one of them white girls who got that new big booty. It's all over her. Now see me, I'm looking at the white man, and I'm like one of the things I could be and get mad with what he said, but I know he telling the damn truth.
That's right.
Welcome to the Dark Black Magic channel. I wanted to take a second on a photo that's circulating around the internet right now. And a lot of people, especially black women and black men, are kind of up in arms over this picture. I won't say up in arms, but at the very least, there's a lot of people that are alarmed by this picture. And it's a photo that you can see right here in this video. It's a photo of a group of young black men with their white dates. And not all the girls in the photo are Caucasian. I think there's a few of them that are black, and then there's one that is a other. But the majority of the girls in the picture are white. And that's what most of the chatter is about and most of the fuss is about that's going on right now around social media surrounding this photo. You know, whenever you see a group this large of young black men and the majority of their dates are white, I would say it's a bad look. I'm not going to necessarily call these young men out and young brothers out and say it's a bad thing, but it's definitely, creating a lot of buzz around social media. So I just wanted to take a second to chime in because, like I said, I have mixed feelings about this. And I've talked about interracial dating on my platform before. I've made videos about it before. If you want to go look through my archives, you can definitely see different videos of me talking about interracial dating. And so a picture like this, it really doesn't surprise me, doesn't really catch me off guard. If you want to predict the future, all you have to do is look at the programming that they're showing the children. If you look at the programming and the different television shows and the marketing that they're gearing towards the children, you can predict what the future is going to look like in 20 years from now. But I think we're going to start to see a return of people starting to date within their communities. It seems like just yesterday, it was really taboo when you saw an interracial couple. And now it's almost the opposite. It's almost the norm. And once something becomes the norm, it's no longer exciting and it kind of loses its luster. And that's just human nature. It's not even anything spiritual or anything metaphysical. And do you guys remember, back in school when the new shoes came out or the new jersey came out or whatever the new apparel that they were trying to sell to you back then was, whatever the case may be. The first few people that got the new Jordans definitely had everybody's attention because, that's something that everybody was trying to get. And for whatever reason, maybe they couldn't afford it or they just couldn't get their hands on it. They couldn't get the new Jordans. And so those first couple of weeks, like I said, they're getting all the shine and getting all the attention. And then by the third and fourth week, almost everybody in the clique has the same shoes or something very similar. After that, nobody really wants to rock with them anymore. And so when I see this picture, I think that represents the same thing that's about to happen. I believe we're about to have a huge dynamic shift within interracial dating. When we see photos like this, it represents the beginning of the end. And I'm definitely not blaming these young black men here. Definitely not pointing the finger at them like a lot of other platforms are doing. I'm definitely not here to do that. I'll say this. Back when I was going to school, and I hate saying that because I know what a lot of people are thinking. Back when I was going to school, it was a lot easier to hook up and go out with a non-black girl than it was to go with a black girl. It was a lot harder for black guys to get with black women unless you were Pookie and Ray Ray. The cooperation from some of these girls, especially the white girls, is going to be a lot easier for a lot of young brothers out there. Like I said, especially if they're not Pookie and Ray Ray, or they don't have a level of swag, or their game isn't tip top yet. In which many of these guys, at this stage in their life, their mouthpiece really isn't going to be on point to where it will be in the future, especially after they get a little more experience under their belt. And with kids today, they really don't communicate, at least in person, how we used to back in the day. I can remember going to the mall and shooting my shot and getting rejected over and over again. It's something that most of you can relate to. I think most of you probably grew up in the same time that I did. So, you probably can remember something similar, going to the mall and just shooting your shot and seeing what you could see. And now, a lot of these young cats are kind of shooting their shot online, and it's a completely different dynamic because all the experience they're getting is coming behind the keyboard. And even when they're on dates, I see a lot of these young people on their phones and they're not really engaged in that one-on-one conversation. And this is really not on a race thing. People are free to date outside their race and people are free to date who they want. But for me, it comes down to more of a practical decision. It would be better and it would be best to date somebody or someone that has your best interest in mind. Not on an individual level, but I'm talking about on a totality level. Does their community have your best interest in mind? If you were to meet her parents and go to her family reunion, would you be welcomed? And if you ask yourself that question and the question is no, then I'll say this: she damn sure better be worth it. So that's just one of the thoughts that was going through my head when I saw this photo. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys agree with me? Or do you guys think that, this is something that's kind of here to stay and we're just going to have to deal with it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as usual, peace and chaos.